Also tonight in Abuja is Cynthia Mbamalu. She's the programs director at the Yiaga Africa, which is a non-profit organisation promoting democratic governance in the country. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us today on France 24. As you heard there, the opposition says the results of this election have been manipulated. The election, they say, is a sham. Is there evidence of that?
I think first the opposition has a right to raise questions if they don't, if they have issues that they've observed in the process. However, the coalition process is still ongoing, and so it is too quick to tell if there's been any fundamental manipulation. However, they base this allegation or assertion based on the fact that a fundamental part of the coalition process was not adhered to, which is basically the use of the results uploaded on the INEC result portal. So what is required for collation based on the Electoral Commission's guidelines, so the Independent National Electoral Commission's guideline is at the point of collation, results at the polling unit levels were supposed to be uploaded on the INEC result viewing portal, IREV, and at the point of collation, there was a requirement for a comparison with the manually transferred document result sheet, and that uploaded on the result portal. However, we observed the elections, and as at 10 p.m. on elections day, there were no polling unit results uploaded on the INEC result portal. And so the argument is what was used to confirm or compare results at the polling unit level, at the coalition levels, if there were no results on the result portal. And the commission had proceeded with the collation at the national state, where you do not still have over 50% or close to 60% of the results on the result portal. And that is one of the reasons, or one of the bases for the assertion. Interestingly, today you had the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party having a joint press conference to air their grievances. And for them, they are calling for a suspension of the procedure of the collation until their request is adhered to, which is basically they are asking for a projection of the electronically transmitted result at the point of announcement of the collation of the results at the National Collation Center. And so that is one. And I think generally the challenge with this is for every electoral process, if there's a requirement for a procedure to be adhered to, and that procedure is not adhered to, it raises it creates doubt and raises a lot of questions. And I do believe that the Electoral Commission had that responsibility to further provide clarification on the review of its procedure for collation. So you have a provision provided in your guidelines. If there is a technical glitch affecting that adherence to the electronic comparison, then the proper communication should have been done in the process of the elections, explaining why this part of the collation process would not be adhered to. So that lack of management of the
Forgive me for cutting across you there. We don't have much time, and I just want to get to this other second point. I mean, you mentioned that we haven't heard yet from the Electoral Commission following this claim that these elections are a sham and need to be rerun. Do you think it's now incumbent on the Electoral Commission to say something pretty quickly? Because clearly tensions are rising now in Nigeria.
Yes, it is incumbent on the Electoral Commission to address the public on the steps it wants to take. Now, interestingly, they have a power within the Electoral Act to review results once reports are made that results were not declared in line with the Electoral Act, the guideline, or the manual. So INEC can actually take this opportunity, address the public, and provide alternatives, as simple as stating that, okay, we'll create a committee and we're open to receiving reports to review results from states that were not announced or declared in line with the guidelines or the Electoral Act. This is the time for INEC to actually provide that leadership and speak to the people to douse the tension, because Nigeria cannot afford any electoral violence with the spate of challenges we already have in the country.
Indeed, you mentioned those challenges. Let's perhaps, if we can, just finally go through what a few of those are. I mean, I'm thinking mostly of security. Would you say that would be the biggest challenge for the new leader, whoever it turns out to be?
Yes, the new leader, whoever he is, would be dealing with a multidimensional level of poverty and multi-layered insecurity threat in the country, because almost every part of the country has different forms of insecurity that the country has grappled with, which has further increased the levels of poverty, increased the numbers of internally displaced persons, and also created more levels of unemployment and hunger. So there is that major insecurity, but it's also multidimensional levels of poverty. And with the high inflation rate and high youth unemployment, there is a lot on the table for whoever wins these elections. And I think it is going to be a tough 1 year for whoever wins the elections.
Indeed. Well, we'll see what happened first of all with the vote counting, and then we'll look to that in the future. Thanks very much indeed, Cynthia Mbamalu. It's always good to have your perspective.
Thank you.